Andertons TV. This video is brought to you in association with
Metallica.
Anyway, right, no, as the name infers, this is hopefully a useful video if you're relatively new to the guitar and have literally got no idea about what kind of guitar amplifier you should buy for your needs, you know, whatever kind of guitar player you want to be.
Yes.
We've got what I would call a micro amp here, and we'll talk to you about what they are, and we'll link to a video where we shoot out some different micro amplifiers.
It's almost disappeared, it's so small.
Yeah, we've got a desktop amplifier here, and again, we've got another shootout video where we can talk about different desktop amplifiers. We've got a super popular solid state amplifier down here by Boss. And then finally, we've got a valve amplifier. And again, we'll talk a little bit about what kind of guitar player might want a valve amplifier. This is not really about necessarily what can you buy based on what can you afford, although, because there is some crossover here in terms of prices, although perhaps the micro amplifier will unsurprisingly be probably the cheapest thing.
Yeah.
But it's more about just what's useful for your application.
Yeah.
So let's start with micro amplifiers. These are typically amplifiers that are less than 5 watts, very, very small, often a combination of either battery or rechargeable. This particular one we're using, you run off a USB mains and it will recharge. Go below and there is a link to a shootout video of different micro amps that we use, but this is called the Positive Grid Spark Go. This kind of amplifier is going to cost you about £100.
Same size as my phone. Even smaller than my phone. Look at that.
And let's see, the little flashing light over Pete's shoulder there with red, that's a decibel meter. That will be useful. If you look at the kind of numbers that we trigger when we're speaking, that'll give you kind of an idea of, like, if you want to play kind of quiet enough not to upset anyone in your house and you want to keep your guitar playing at kind of speaking volume level, use that as a reference.
I mean, depending on who you're married to, somebody will have no playing at all, not even with no amp.
Yeah,
no.
It's not a bad point. So the type of amplifier that we haven't included here are headphone amps. So these are pure, dedicated little amplifiers that you can plug into your guitar like that, and then you just run headphones off of them. So here we go. Let's have a little listen to 3 or 4 of the kind of sounds that you could get out of the little Spark Go.
And there's 4 little things that, as Lee said, go up there, watch the video we've done on that, and go down below. Please like and subscribe, because you might win something. You know. You do. Here's the first kind of sound, just the cleanest tone. I mean, we can speak over that, so it's not very loud, and I think it's kind of, so it makes a little noise when you're hitting the maximum, right? I mean, it's fine.
I think it's amazing.
It sounds great in that volume. It's brilliant.
Yes. All the effects are built in, and you can put headphones into that if you want.
All on here with your app and all these different things. So it's really, really clever. What have we got next? We have got a lead sound. So let's see. So it'll work for that, and then you've got like a solo kind of thing. I mean,
I think they're amazing.
Yeah,
not
loud.
Like you said, that's as loud as it'll go. Yeah. So no, you can't jam with this.
No.
I say that, of course, there is that new Spark extension cabinet for it, which obviously is designed to plug this into and make it a lot louder. So maybe you could kind of jam, but only with an optional extra.
Oh, if you have 2 of these and you and me would jam with 2 of them, it'll be fine. It wouldn't be loud, but we can have,
that's true.
If it's a similar kind of volume.
But so that's a micro amplifier.
It's super fun.
And again, like I said, if you want a comparison of the most popular micro amplifiers, there below. Taking quite a leap up in terms of size, but it's still very much designed to be a home use amplifier. So this is a relatively new category of amplifier. We're calling it desktop. Yamaha probably invented, if you like, this category about 10 years ago with their THR amplifiers.
Yeah.
And this is Imagine this is almost like a sound bar that you might use with your TV or for playing Bluetooth through. So it's very much about a near field experience. In other words, you know, a relatively small room, being quite close to the amplifier. But these type of amplifiers are typically stereo, and they're using that kind of stereo imaging that a sound bar will use to fool your ears into thinking this is quite a lot bigger than it really is. Again, we've shot it out several of the most popular versions of these.
Yeah.
Cheapest ones of these, actually the big brother of the positive grid's probably the cheapest one of these at around about the 200 mark.
What that one here, or the bigger one?
The mini is about 200. And then these will go up to probably the dearest one of these would be something like the Boss Katana EX at about £500. So if you imagine in between that sort of 200 and 500. The new X is about 350 and comes with tons of features.
Clever wireless thing was this really
looper,
cool,
drum machine, all kinds of stuff. Yeah. Same concept as Pete was saying again. We're very much sort of app driven here.
Yeah. But you don't need an app for this. You know, you need an app for this really to save your 4 sounds in there. You know. But
so here we go.
Already
way louder than Pete's. I mean, again, I don't know if you can see from the decibel meter. Another way of doing this might be if I strum an A chord. Pete, could you strum an A chord?
I can certainly. You can't hear me.
So you can barely hear Pete over what I'm playing.
Perfect.
I'm running half volume, maybe something like that. As I get louder on this,
I'll pop myself in here,
I don't think the best tones on these kind of amplifiers are gunned all the way up. You know, the best tones are either less than what I've got or a little bit more than what I've got. Somewhere in that range. Very much a home use amplifier. So any effects you hear, again, reverb, echo, whatever, they're all coming from here. So we've actually got 7 presets on this, but again, tons and tons of different tones if you want to.
Got a nice room on it, the like slapback room delay.
It's not bad, is it? Next preset is a gainier again.
Wow.
Again, I mean, like I say, I can change any of these, add effects, whatever. This one's got a bit more, got some delay on here.
I think this is already loud enough to annoy neighbors. If you've got the wrong neighbours.
This is definitely loud enough to annoy neighbours. Having said that though, so what I do like about these though, is you will get big fat juicy tones.
Big fat juicy tones. Yeah, that's speaking volume that, isn't it?
That's where these amps are clever, right? Because the criticism of traditional kinds of amplifiers is very much, they just can't do that. What the speakers in a traditional amplifier just need a little bit more movement to get them to go. So, but yeah, I mean, it's really impressive, the new X. In fact, probably the desktop category would be my personal choice over the micro amplifier for playing at home. Again, some of that is a financial consideration. Obviously, if you just if you can't afford one of these, obviously you get left with.
Well, if you're traveling, these are perfect for them for this mini and micro things, in my opinion.
Loads of good features. Again, go watch the video so you can make sure you make the best decision about which one of these is right. But as I said, anything from sort of £250 to £500, you'll get lots of options here. So the next amp we're looking at is the little Boss Katana MK2. I say little, it's not that little, is it?
Super popular, super popular.
Yeah, this has probably been the biggest selling guitar amplifier of all time, to be honest with you. And this comparison between desktop amplifiers and some of the smaller solid state amplifiers, I think is the one most people get confused as to which one should you buy, because
out there.
They're much the same price. The Katana is about $250. The this New X is about 350. So you're sort of going, okay, I'm confused already. New X has got a few more features in it in terms of loopers and drum machines and stuff. Which But I do understand. I think the saving grace, really the only real saving grace for the desktop category is its size. So it's very small, and if you live somewhere where, you know, somebody in the family, or maybe just even yourself, is going to get offended by the idea of you having an amplifier like this here, then that's probably where the desktop thing comes in. The stereo speaker, some of the imaging that they'll put on the effects gives it more of a big hi-fi kind of studio sound at really low volumes, whereas these amplifiers probably don't quite do that.
It's an amplifier. There's a guitar amplifier. With this, it's a Bluetooth streamer. You know, it does lots of other things than just being a guitar amp. You know.
But I think there's a reason why something like the Katana 50 is so popular. So what I've done here is I want to try and give you some sense of how the tone changes when it's really low volume. Because I think there's also an argument that says at really low volumes, the speakers that are in these desktop amplifiers are probably more comfortable maybe than the speakers in here. I think these speakers probably want a little bit more driving. But here we go. Look, I've got this now. Katana's quite clever. It has a 0.5 watt mode, so it can go super quiet. But let me just jump back to this one on its clean sound. They're both good sounding amplifiers. It's like I said before, I feel like this is doing a slightly better job of sounding like a loud amp quiet. Whereas this just sounds like a quiet
That's what it's there for, isn't it? That's the reason why you would buy one of those, right?
Yeah, so I mean, but and again, I can go to a dirty sound and have it really quiet as well.
That's the lick. Somebody's been practicing.
In terms of
watching TikTok, learning licks.
In terms of effects, this type of solid state amplifier, you can get very traditional versions of this. Orange do the Orange Crush range, which will just have like a reverb and a distortion effect in it. Katana has got a few, like maybe half a dozen different effects. Something
Fender
like Fender Mustang or Line 6 would have like hundreds of effects in it. You kind of got to, I think Katana does a brilliant job of hitting that sweet spot of being simple enough that everybody knows how to use it, get a good sound, and just sort of sophisticated enough that you feel like you've got a few toys. Now, where we are going to have to just change microphone probably over to the one that's in front rather than the room mics is, of course, where this type of amplifier completely comes into its own is as a little jamming, gigging type amplifier. So if I now switch it up to its 20, I'm going to switch it to its 50 watt mode.
Go 50.
And again, you use the decibel meter rather than necessarily what's coming out of your speakers to get an idea of the volume. So,
sounds good, man.
As opposed to I really get good sound, but totally not a gigging amp. Bizarrely, I think that Spark cabinet that we talked for the extension will actually work for this type of amplifier as well. So if you did want to massively boost the volume, but here we go. And of course, you know, if I want some crunch. And I'm by no means, I'm not even a quarter of the volume up now. Tay, can I go a bit louder? Yep. A bit louder, a bit more gain.
that's when it's fun to play guitar,
Yes.
Lee. That's when it's fun to play guitar.
So honestly, if you've got the space and neighbours / parents / housemates, whatever, that are a bit more sympathetic to you wanting to play the guitar, something like the Katana 50 is probably the jack of all trades.
Yeah,
it will go quite like that. It will go loud.
And you can take it on a gig and rehearse with your friends.
Brilliant amp. And incredible value. Sometimes I think one of the reasons why Katana 50 is so affordable is because of how successful it's been. They literally make tens of thousands of these a month, and I guess that drives the price down.
It's an incredible little thing. It really, really is.
So, valve amplifiers.
Yes.
Okay, so this is where it all started back in the days, when your wireless was valve and your television was valve and your country was protected by valve radar systems. They still are, bizarrely. It's what all the other amps that we've got here are trying to emulate. And valve amplifiers come in all shapes and sizes. They can be 5-watt little tiny combos. They can be 150-watt stacks on top of
200-watt
8x10.
governor, or whatever it's called, the big one.
We've chosen a 15-watt 1x12 combo here, Fender Blues Junior. It's about £600, so it is the dearest one. I think where Pete's going to struggle the most here is to get a great sound at a low volume. Probably not going to get any sort of real fat overdrive without a pedal. But I suspect once Pete turns it up, it's going to be the one that he likes the best. So what kind of using our room mics, what's the lowest you can really go with something like this?
When people ask me what I recommend from home, if I recommend any tube amp, I recommend something with a master volume. This one has got a master volume, which means that it's an overall volume, so you got a volume and a master, and you can use it to crank the volume up or the gain front end of it to get a little bit of drive. But the master is always great because you can get some good tones. But let me demonstrate. So,
can I just say as well, wattage is so confusing in here
and subjective.
It's like 5 watts valve with a big speaker will be louder than 50 watts solid state with Diddy speakers. It's a very loose guide to the volume, but I think you've just got to go with what people will tell you in a music store or a review or whatever. But something like that this is a gigging amplifier without a doubt.
And it's only 15 watts this. So I have got master on 3, and master volume on 3.
So pretty clean and relatively low.
Yeah, and everything else is on 12 o'clock, so treble, middle and bass. Shaking the guitar doesn't make any difference.
Will it go quieter? Well, that's louder than speaking, isn't it? Even at that.
So I would say this is pretty quiet and speakable. And to compensate for maybe if you want a little bit more top end in it, you just put a bit of treble on it. Maybe take some bass off. Bass off.
Jeff Bassoff.
Bass off.
He's an EQ position. He should make a tube screen. Jeff Bassoff.
I mean, I can go quiet on that. I go quiet. I mean, no, you want any quiet on this. I mean, these are remarkable little amps, and I think people kind of forget. I mean,
I think the question
But I can't get any gun sound out of it right now. Let me try it before you do that. So look all the way down on the master, and then volume all the way up. So let's see, volume all the way up. It's not bad.
I want to hear the difference between.
So this is clean kind of sound.
No, just on that dirty sound.
Oh, the dirty sound.
Okay, go on.
Okay, so. So here's one thing you get the noise from the tubes.
Well, I think it's just because you're sitting right on top of it.
I am sitting right on top of it.
Well, that
hit this fat switch in. There's a fat switch.
want to see which one I prefer.
I like that sound,
Yeah,
though.
I do too.
Yeah.
Go on.
That's more of a distortion sound, where this is more of an overdrive sound from the tubes, right?
I mean, hopefully, I think we're still using the room mics for this bit, right?
Yeah, we would be, yeah.
So let's just go again. Just go play on that.
Okay.
I'll just plug into this.
It's a different drive sound, isn't it? You know,
Yeah,
where that's more designed. This is still designed to be nice at a low level, where this one is not really designed to run it at level.
So let's go over to like a slightly fatter clean tone now, and we'll have to now use the mic in front of it, because I think it would be too loud for the mics in the room.
So let me just go up here with the master and the volume. Back at everything at 12. So I sometimes think the fat switch on this one drives it a little bit more.
It's a big, punchy mid-boost EQ thing. It's not terribly pleasant on a real traditional Fender clean sound.
No, it's a different thing, isn't it? So.
Back to here again, just to try and do a clean...
But the reverb in this as well. So yeah, up on 50 watts. I mean, it sounds great.
It does sound amazing. There's just, I don't know if it's psychosomatic just because I know this is valvey, but I just think all the compression and the attack is just a bit more natural.
There's something old school. There's something old about it. There's some.
Quickly into here.
Yeah.
Into here.
Okay.
Sounds decent. Decent bit of bass end into here, using all the room mics again. A lot louder, obviously, on the decibel meter. And on your clean sound? Are you back on the clean sound?
On your head, son.
Go on! Go on, son!
I mean, there's an application for all of these. I mean, you know.
This video wasn't necessarily that one of these is better than the others.
No.
This was, you know what your playing circumstances are, you know what your budget is, you know what level you're at as a guitar player. And, you know, I do kind of think whether you go Positive Grid or Nuix, these are loaded with features to make playing at home at low volumes as immersive as possible.
Yeah.
These two here are definitely more about, I think, grabbing your guitar and jamming with some buddies, maybe doing some small gigs and stuff like that. The Katana Mark II is definitely a crossover product.
Yeah.
And you know what, with valve amplifiers, I think there are so many valve amplifiers out there. The
super place to start this.
Yeah, the Hot Rod.
I mean, this is your journey coming here, isn't it?
Maybe.
This could be your journey.
Blues Junior probably is in a lot of people's houses as a low volume valve amplifier. I kind of feel though it's the joy of having an amplifier that is when it's a little bit louder.
Yeah.
And then of course, you know, if you look at some of the other amps, you know, the 100-watt Marshall stacks, the Soldano we've got in the corner, all that kind of stuff, those are wildly inappropriate for people that just want to play at bedroom volume levels. But, you know,
if they have a master volume, you know, you could go
you can still do it. Yeah, but
4x12 in a 2x2 bedroom flat, maybe not so much. But who knows? You can do whatever you want, really, right? At the end of the day.
But if there's one thing for sure, it's wherever you are at on your guitar playing journey, one of these type of products is going to be perfect for you. And obviously, if you buy it from Andertons, then that's a guarantee it's even more perfect for you. There we are. So that hopefully that helps a little bit on your journey. Let us know in the comments section below what amplifier you thought was best for you. Perhaps there's another kind of amplifier that we've missed that you'd like to see us review. But let us know, and we shall see you in another video soon.
I'm going to put this in my hood now and see what happens.